Generic greetings and welcome to Construction Plus Prison Architect Alpha 32 Episode 2. In the previous episode we planned out the Alpha 32 prison for this month and there's been a couple of changes. Some people are saying this is quite a good prison, some people are saying it is one of the worst I have built. I honestly have no idea. I've went through it and actually made a fair amount of changes. First things first, we did have a bit of a small yard around here and just decided that was way too small. So what I've done, I've basically solved two problems, killed two birds with one stone as they say, and instead we're going to put a fairly big yard on this side, so it will be attached to the cell blocks on either side, one on the top, one on the bottom, and that will not only give us a lot more yard space, which is definitely required, but also solve our overpopulation problem. I thought I over-egged it a little bit in the last episode. I said, look, I might have made this a little bit too big, and most of the comments said, yeah, you have made that far too big, you can't actually feed all of the prisoners. I say that as I am actually putting another piece in because I think the yard is a little bit too big. It's actually bigger than the than the shower area. So yeah, we're shrinking it down a little bit to about that size. That looks about right. There we go. Obviously the same size on the other side. We've also made some changes around the front here. We now have a proper sized area for the what's it called? I always forget the name of it. Parole. Obviously, we've got two bits of parole. Not going to set one of them to the prisoner only for death row. I'm not going to do anything like that. There's just whatever they want to use. All of this bit here, this bit and this bit, obviously this is where we have the electric chair and such that's been shifted about. That will be, I guess, that'll be death row only, but the rest will be open. This is where we've got our new infirmary and such. I decided to keep the infirmary down here. I was going to shift it further forward, but I thought, no, I'll keep where it is because then it makes sense of being right across from there because you can take them to the morgue. Actually, I don't know whether they come straight from the electric chair to the morgue or anything like that, but it also means if they boot off around here, then we'll be able to bring more people in. One thing I don't have around this area, which is causing me a little bit of an issue, is the we don't have any security around the place, so that's something that I'm a little bit worried about. But we might cross that bridge when we come to it. We might have to change that about. The idea is have a security station somewhere. I think we've got it down there. That's where we've got. That's where we've actually got a security, and then we've got our armory. We've also got a staff room there, but I don't really know about shifting it around. We'll see. There's been a couple of changes to the size in other places as well, little tweaks here and there, but overall it's about right. We're not going to really change it any more than what you see here. All of this will be indoors. This bit is going to be outdoors just because I think it'll look quite good, and obviously this bit at the back, but mostly the entire prison is going to be indoors, but we'll see how it goes. Right, so we're going to get on with construction. We're going to go a foundation and building concrete because I think making a concrete building will be okay. We need to do shower, holding cell, yard. Basically we try and do all of this one, but I guess we'll go for the detention center first. So we're going to clicky draggy and we're going to start construction. So we'll get probably all of this bit done first down the bottom. That'll be the office and things like that. So we're just going to click and drag and do all of that. Obviously we need a large jail door at the front there for the entrance of the prison, and then we will put a staff door down the bottom on the other ones there as well. This is all going to be one big room. It'll generate as one big room, and then I'll put more doors in and those separate walls and such as well. I think I will also, while I'm on this one, I got foundation building concrete and then put a concrete building lump in. I might as well do it around the back here because that's going to be all one inside building as well. This will be outside because that's where we've got the dog kennel. A couple of people have said that that dog kennel is actually a little bit too big, and I agree. I think what I might do is end up shrinking it down and then maybe even put in a... I might even put in a sort of teaching area because we currently haven't got a teaching area, see, which is slightly problematic, but we shall see how it goes. I might even get rid of one of these visitation areas. The problem is that I've got two visitation now. I have been assured and read that it is fixed now, but with the greatest of respects, I've read that several times and be told that several times, so I don't know whether that is the case or not. We shall see. Either way, we'll crack on and we can obviously cross them bridges if we actually come to them. So there we go. That's actually getting placed in quite nicely. We just need to put a staff door either side. The reason I'm putting a staff door is it just seems to I don't know, it just seems to fit the bill a little bit better than actually having a having some sort of a jail door. I just think they're not really worth it. Right, we also need to put a staff door on the front there like so, but then these ones here, these will be jail doors. There we go. Right, so it looks like most of these have been put in. I just need to put the rest in here. This is obviously going to be the offices and such. I'm getting the office grant done first because it gives me a little bit of spare change, which is obviously always good. I don't want 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we've got 5 officers in there. One thing I haven't done is I haven't got the psychologist anywhere, which was around here originally. I was going to get rid of this area. Now that I think about it, this area is where we've got the that's the parole, but I don't know whether to put a parole bit there, actually keep that as parole, or actually change that to some sort of office for the psychologist. What I might end up doing is getting rid of that, maybe like that. And then having a separate office for the... maybe keeping this as the infirmary, that as the morgue, and then that as the office for the psychologist. Might do something like that. And then later on, we can change it so we actually have another parole room. Because that's one thing someone suggested, that if I'm running out of parole, I could always put one around here like that. And that'll be a 4x5. It needs to be a 5x5, I believe, parole. I'll have a quick look here. Parole, minimum size 5x5, so we'd have to shrink that down a little bit, but we could put parole around this area here. To be honest with you, I'm still just playing it by ear. I don't really need to worry about that. This size in the centre is about right, so we're going to leave it. Actually, some people have been saying that this is actually too small, but I disagree. Technically, they're right, because this is a little bit too small for the amount of prisoners we have, but you have to understand the prisoners don't always eat every time, because I generally have 2 eats every day, so, you know, we should be okay. But again, we'll see how it goes. Let's just put the water pump in, as well as a big bank of capacitors there, and also electrical cable. Run that down to the water pump, and then we need to run an electrical cable straight down through the center here, and that will power up all of these rooms. That should be that all sorted. Right, okay, we just need to go to rooms and then to the office, and obviously right at the back here we're going to designate that as office. Go to our office desk, and we'll put probably an office desk in... How do I want to do this? I think I like the idea of the office desk always pretty much in the center like that, and then we'll put the chair down the back, and then we'll put a couple of filing cabinets. We don't need more than one filing cabinet, we'll just put one filing cabinet in for now. What I'm going to do is actually do the same thing for 3 of them, because I know we're going to need to get there eventually. So we'll put all 3 of them in like that, then we'll go to staff, and then we'll hire the warden. There we go, we now have an warden. So the warden's going to go around and do warden things, and those warden things will be whatever I need to do research first. So we need to go finance and accountant. So let's have a quick look at that. We will go for our education, legal, psychology, finance. We're going to go for finance, and then we could go for the legal, but we'll see what happens first. So we're researching finance first, then once that's done, we'll actually get the accountant, which will go in that one there. Fantastic. So back to rooms, we can go to staff room and clicky clicky draggy draggy, make that a staff room there. Obviously we need to put in things like a drinks machine, and we also need to put in a sofa. We'll put in 2 sofas, and then has to have a little one as well, a couple of little chairs here. I don't know why, but every time I do staff rooms I always think about theme hospital. Theme hospital, I know it's a bit weird, it's silly really, but I always think, oh yeah, theme hospital. I remember playing theme hospital and actually having several like sort of receptions and such and whatnot, but I always my one memory is that, oh yeah, we need to put in a staff room and stuff for all of the GPs and such. It's weird because they used to place loads of drinks machines in, not in the staff room, but just in theme hospital in general. Drinks machines everywhere. I think it was like, it wasn't Kit Kat, it was like a Cat Kit or something like that. It was the same colour scheme as a Kit Kat, but that's the drinks machine for some reason, and used to place them all over in theme hospital to actually get people to, well, not just walk out of your hospital, which was always good. Anyway, so rambling on a bit, but I guess that's what I do a lot of the time. Let's just clicky clicky draggy draggy a bit more as well, and we'll start putting some actual walls in the back here as well. That's fine, and we actually don't need that wall all the way there. I don't know why it's actually planned like that, but there we go. That should do us quite nicely. This is going to be our oh, what's it called? It's the laundry, isn't it? That's going to be the laundry, this bit here, which is weird because I said I'm going to do this as the laundry, and I thought I'm going to get crucified for putting a laundry in a staff-only area, but most people said, yeah, that's actually a fairly decent idea. We haven't done it before, and it might be interesting, so that's good. That's good. I lied. People just called me names. Right, let's go for a... I think we do need a storage, so clicky, clicky, draggy, draggy storage. There we go, and that's our storage all put in. We do need to get our basic detention center grant done, which requires us to get holding cell, shower, yard, kitchen, canteen. We're not going to have a holding cell in this thing, so we'll have to see how that one goes. We'll speed up to max speed because all I'm really doing at the moment is waiting for that warden to crack on finishing with the old research on finance. Once that's done, I think I'll still get illegal as well. Obviously, we're going to need to go on maintenance and security. We'll have to get the lot unlocked, basically. It's going to just be a case of do the lot. Also, health as well, because health will be another grant that we get done. The first thing I'm going to research is extra grant. So, anyway, 27 grand remaining. Let's go to foundation and then our building concrete and see how much that would cost. That's going to cost a nice straight 8 grand. That's a fairly big chunk of change right there. You don't find that round the back of the sofa. Let's just place all that and that will get built. So we're now down to 17,641 generic units of currency. We can get 5 grand quite easily by just waiting for the administration center grant to be completed. Not when I actually have it paused, however. And then we can probably go for another grant, which will probably be, I don't know actually, I don't know what grant we'll go for next. Something that will give us a lot of money, that's for sure. We could also research the ability to get loans, which we could do as well. But at this point in time, loans, yeah, we're not going to get a great deal. We could also start selling the prison as well. That's one thing I've never really done a lot of. If you go to your, it's actually in finance, so that's locked. We need to actually hire an accountant. Speaking of which, we have just unlocked the account, which means I can hire an accountant, then go to our rooms and then to office and then click that and drag it. There you go, there's finance job done, and there's our 5 grand, which also means I can now show you the finance tab, which is there, and I guess it is in, oh, it's in valuation, sorry, in valuation. You can actually sell shares in your prison, so we need a minimum value of 50,000 and 20 prisoners to do that, so I can't even get that one done, so that's going to be problematic. Just going to go to my prisoners here. No prisoners there. We just need to go to intake, and I'm say intake everything. I'll take anything, and that should be okay. Hopefully we'll get some death row inmates as well. I don't know whether this is going to be max sec or mixed or whatever. I haven't yet decided. I know most people said max sec, but that's generally the option that everybody picks straight on. I'm not a big fan of that. I'd prefer to, you know, try something a bit different. Anyway, I do need to go to my bureaucracy tab. We need to go for an extra grant research and then probably a bank loan as well. I don't know whether they've actually cheapened that one off. It's 500 each now. I don't know whether that's been reduced or not. Anyway, either way, workmen are cracking on with the center bit here. This is where we're going to have our canteen and our kitchen. Obviously in the canteen we've also got phone booths as well, so that actually sorts out a couple of the communication problems or requirements that the prisoners have. Not that we have any now at the moment, you understand. As you can see though, we've definitely got this outside there. That's all an outside bit. I like the idea of it. You know, you come out for a little bit of sunshine and then you straight into the canteen. You know, you get to see a little bit of the sky. It is a very, very dark and dingy, depressing place. And that was one of the comments as well. People saying every prison that I make, it's getting darker and darker and darker. And I can't really truly agree with that, but I understand what they're saying, in that, you know, the last couple of prisons certainly. The last one certainly was probably the darkest we've ever done, but we have done a really, really harsh one before where it was fully high risk. It was, I think it was when high risk came out. In fact, I did high risk and low risk at the same time. That's when they brought out prisoner distinctions or designations, whatever you would like to call them. When they first brought them out, I did actually go for the whole, see if we can get some prisoners and have them high risk and low risk and such. But yeah, we did 2 of them. I think we did both of them, and that's where we had a little bit of a problem, because the high risk prison burnt down. It actually it rioted, and then it started to set on fire, and then it did just go on fire completely, and I had to actually stop the series. One of the only times that I've had to say, you know what, there's nothing I can do to repair this. This is totally gone now. That's all gone. Anyway, we do have another couple of grants that we can get. So we can go for health and well-being, which is 20,000, and then short-term investment, 11 grand when completed. I think that's been changed. We'll go for the short-term investment, 72 hours, so it's not really short-term, but the health and well-being is 10 grand advance payment. That's 15 grand advance payment. Staff well-being is a completion bonus of 10 grand. Have 5 guards without assigned duties, ensuring none of your staff are exhausted. You can only get exhausted when you have prisoners, so we'll get that later on. Cell block here, we need a basic detention center, so it's going to be health and well-being, which will give us the build medical ward, hire at least 2 doctors, and hire psychologist. Office requires an office and all that. So we have this bit in the center. We have not a lot of money, so let's just get on with going to rooms and then to our canteen, and obviously make all of that a canteen. Fairly large canteen, probably the largest I've ever done in any series, and then we'll have that as the kitchen as well. All I need to do at the moment is basically get this to register that it is in fact a canteen in the kitchen. These are only 20 grand each, so I can easily put... sorry, 20 grand? No, the $20 each, which I think is a bit ropey because it's a bit too cheap for my liking. Anyway, let's put in that there. That will give us a... almost a complete... That's a sink. We need a sink. Yes, 20. Might have, if we're only 20 each, I'll just put them all in. So, how's that? I think there's been a bit of a weird change with some of the things here. Cancel them off. That's weird. I'm just going to put them in the corner because I know that's where they should have gone in the first place. I don't know whether the lines have been changed, the planning on that one. Interesting. Anyway, so we just need to run the electrical cable straight up into the center here. Or as close to the center as we can, and then obviously we do need to connect it up like so, and then we just need to do a large pipe and then run that out and down and then again straight across the center, and obviously we can spare it off if we need to as well. Actually, we don't really need that large pipe like that. That's really no point in doing that. I think we'll just need to run up to there really, and then obviously small pipe will do the job and connect them two bits up as well. There we are. So that's canteen and kitchen. Going for short-term investment, obviously medical ward needs to be built, but that's around the back here. So that is probably time I actually get on and probably think about redoing this for the third time, if not the fourth. This is our potential medical ward. If we had, say, an entrance there, like that, or an entrance there to the medical ward, then we could have it go down to, if we just break that off to there, which actually not to there, and that would be an office for the... That would be an office for the psychologist, but a little bit big, isn't it? It doesn't really need... It only needs to be a 4x4. So if I do that, I can actually have beds along here, and then have this as... perhaps a... Do I need that? Or I could have it fairly large and do that, and then that, and actually have a morgue in here. Prefer it over this side for some reason. Morgue there, slabs on either side, then that's a psychologist's office, this is the infirmary. That works out a little bit better. I think that's a little bit better. So we're going to go for building concrete, and then we will actually make that. As I said, this is a really, really dodgy way of doing it. I actually need to extend it a little bit there, because I'm just trying to sort of get it done as fast as I can, really. I just get the grant done, basically. We need to put in some doors, technically. Is it doors? Yeah, we do need easy access to the infirmary, but then it means that people can go in and steal. I might change them doors later on, we'll see. One thing about the canteen, it's currently not designated. It is designated as a canteen, but it's not officially a canteen yet because it doesn't have some benches and a table in there, which is why I've just put that in now. Just need to go back to concrete wall, and then we need to put in the concrete wall like so. It's a bit confusing looking at it because the doors always slide to one side, but that's fine because I know I've been doing it long enough to work out where it goes. I say that, I've probably messed it up, but hey, we'll see what happens. We also need... Oh, we can't actually have the infirmary yet because we are still researcherating it. Yeah, you can see that's in the queue, but we haven't got there yet, so that's fine. We've just got an office designation there. We will actually put in an office, and then a chair, and then another chair, like so, and then we'll put a sofa next to it. Sometimes I don't know. I always do this. I always go, I should really check that out, whether it's a sofa or a chair, and every time I forget. I don't know whether it's either or. Sometimes I've seen videos of them sitting in chairs. Sometimes I've seen them in the sofas. So it's a bit of a ropey one. Either way, it is what it is. It's done. Right. Utilities, electrical cable here. I'm just going to run that straight up, and then want to go down into that area like so. That will then power that room up. That's all good. 12,283 generic units of currency. We're on max speed here. We've got another 2 days, basically, for 2.5 days for the short-term investment. And that is something we'll hopefully get, well, 16 grand it gives us. I'm sure it says 11 grand in this thing here. That says 11 grand. That says 16 grand there. Minus, right, okay. Minus, because the total... the total, you actually get you have to spend 5 grand to get 16 grand. Pay money into an investment fund, which will ultimately give a reasonable return on your initial sum, same as the long-term investment. Oh, okay, I never really knew that. Okay, we also got a bank loan there as well, so if we need it, it's there. Right, so we have just got our legal department unlocked, which is good, so we can get legal prep, which is 50,000. So the legal prep is a new thing, actually. It is something that's been added now, so you can... Basically, you get certain warnings throughout the game. The failure states is what they are, basically. They are failure states. So it might say, right, you failed to do this, you're going to get screwed over. So it's like, oh, okay, thank you very much for that. I'm just putting some fencing at the back here because eventually this will be outside, so we need to make sure that that is definitely fenced off. Obviously, this will end up being a wall, so I'm not going to do that just yet. But yeah, there are failure states in the game, which will eventually just say, nope, you failed, tough, and then the game will end. Or you can be brought into your own prison and things like that. You can become a prisoner in your own facility, which is interesting. But, yeah, you can do a legal prep now, which actually gives you a bit of a get-out-of-jail-free card, as it were. And it will allow you to basically continue going, but don't do it again. But you have to, it is a prep, you can't just go quickly buy it because it does take 50 grand in a certain amount of time to do, so we'll have to get on with that one. That's execution liability, which is already in, obviously, and we've got legal stuff as well. Let's research psychology because we need to get on with that. So we should now have access via our rooms to the infirmary. Yes, we do, so we'll put that as the infirmary. Obviously, we need to put that as the morgue there. Morgue is very easy to furnish. It's just a couple of slabs there. So a slab either side, like so. That just does the job quite nicely. Medical bed in the infirmary. We can put one there, and then we'll put one there, but not yet because I haven't got the money. So we'll see what happens. We'll wait for that one. As long as we've got the one, it is officially a room, a proper room. Then we need to hire 2 doctors, and then we do need to hire a psychologist. We'll bring them in and such. So that's fine. What are they bringing over? What's that box? Oh, it looks like it's a medical bed in there. I do like the... It still amazes me that they actually add just like little stickers on top of the crate. Yeah, we'll bring the crate over and then we'll get on with it. One of the things I wanted to touch on, actually, is what I mentioned in the previous episode. I said that Prison Architect is actually coming to the end of its development cycle, which is why we're going to get more bug bashes and such, and I have mixed feelings on that, and I said I'll talk about that, but I just end up getting stuck on the whole planning thing. At the moment, I'm just waiting for our psychologist to be researched, and then I can put them in and such. But yeah, I want to touch on that. Basically, I have mixed feelings about that because this game has been something I've been playing for years, like 2 or 3 years now. I guess I've been playing the game, and obviously it's predominantly the game I feature on the channel. I feature it most months, and it's just something that we are generally been enjoying. But you know, I'm glad to see it come to come to the end and such. But it's an interesting one because it's I don't really. And what I'm going to do is I've hired a doctor just to get the grant done, then I'm going to sack one because I don't need to. But I'm not going to sack both because they are $1,000 each and they only cost $100 a day. So assuming I don't buy another one within 10 days, I'm actually still in profit, so that's okay. Or rather, not in profit, but not losing more money. Right, so I think we'll go for long-term investment. Might as well go for a long-term investment. We'll continue that going. Yeah, so I really do... As I say, I had mixed feelings about the whole thing because I liked it. I want to see the game obviously completed, which it's going to, and obviously we'll have a campaign and things like that, and it means that we're coming close to the more bug bashes, and we get, you know, it basically becomes more of a polished product. But at the same time, it's sort of not good to know that it will eventually be that's it. You know, it's done. We're not adding any more, and I constantly look at it and think there's loads more you could do. There's loads more you could do, but you have to also be wary of feature creep. Like, you know, like how much stuff is necessary. Like you could add special prisoners that are, you know, I mean, we have legendary prisoners in the game, but none that are sort of treated with like respect. You don't really have gangs in the game yet or anything like that. I don't know whether they're going to be added and stuff like that, so I don't know what's going to happen. I assume, maybe wrongly, that it will be, you know, actually developed after the game's released. I assume that that's going to happen, but you never really know. You never really know. Anyway, I've just put a reception at the front here, so we need an office desk, a table, and a chair. Problem is that the tables are really, really long, and as you can see, we don't really have any place to put it. I'm going to put it right in the center there. We need office desk, table, and chairs, so I guess office desk could go This is really cramped, this one, and then we'll put a couple of chairs on either side, and that officially gets that as a reception. Obviously, that's where prisoners are going to come in, and then we can easily just go, yep, that's all sorted. And then we search them, and then we send them off. Right, so we have both short-term and long-term investment on the go there. We've got our basic detention center grant there waiting for us. Problem is, though, that in order to get that done, I need to go to our rooms, and then I need to, for a start, go to yard, and obviously designate all that as yard, because that's what's going to be it. And then obviously we need to go up the top here and do that as well. But then we need to do the concrete building on this side, which is going to be a fairly big building, as you can see. And already it's insufficient funds. We don't have the funds to actually build the one shower block that we need. Sorry, not the one shower block, the one cell block, including the shower block. We actually need all of that as one big building. So we are really struggling for cash now. Really struggling for cash. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to let it run a little bit, get probably the short-term investment done, might even get ourselves a bit of a bank loan, but we shall actually see. I was thinking originally that what I might end up doing is selling my previous prison. Obviously the previous one that we had was probably worth probably $250,000. I don't think it would be anything more or less than that, really. I think $250,000 is about right, or maybe 300,000. Maybe they generally average about that one on a small map. But I was going to sell that, but I didn't, and I'm starting to regret that decision. So I might end up getting myself a little bit of cash, but we'll see how it goes. As always, comments in the comments. Next episode we will be building this cell block, putting some cells in, probably getting a couple of these other things up, and then what I might do is put a temporary wall all the way around, and then just get prisoners, and then just see how it goes, because we do need to get some. But yeah, we'll see how this one goes. Thanks very much for watching, take care, and generic partings.